Pension funds will evaporate in the near future, and this is unavoidable because of the system that they've set up with increased fragility, with increased risk, and their only solution is to take that risk, repackage it up, and then add more risk on top of that, selling it as an asset. This doesn't work, and I'll tell you exactly what's going on in the real world. This is the pension funds here, and you could see on the left-hand side that's the US, and about 50% of these pension funds are made up of stocks, and that is a huge problem if you have the stock market crashes, because all of a sudden people are not getting paid out their pensions. I'll get into the details on that. You could see how other countries generally do not put as much of it into the equities. They definitely don't like that, but the US has such a high rate in there that it is very frightening should there be a market crash. Let's get into this right here. Looting the public pensions. This is a new study here, and it is a very big thing because people take for granted the money that they get from their pensions, assuming that it'll always be there. But take a look at this. Many states and cities have been underpaying or non-paying their required contributions into the public pension funds for years, causing massive shortfalls that are seldom reported. Of course, it never gets reported because this is very dangerous information. They have gone past the red line and they are really running into the negative. And then, of course, you have problems. There are other points I'll just make very quickly, saying that, they've decided that because they're not making enough money, they need to seek quote-unquote alternative investments, and that is a very interesting thing when you talk about what happened back in the financial crisis, how they created all these CDOs and all these other schemes that they've made, and it just is really just a packaging up of garbage, and that can't lead anywhere but downward. And they're also saying that, look, this is basically these alternative investments are really supposed to be good, but in fact are definitely not. You can read that for yourself. A hard lesson from Motown: they will steal your pension. This is really what happened, and it is a factor in some cities right now, but will be present in many more as time goes on. The pension funds are a very big issue, and I'll get to that in a moment. Just wanted to also mention this, how the LA Workers Pension Fund was looted and why LA runs a deficit. Obviously, we don't need to talk about why this is a big issue, and this is what I wanted to get to. Top US CEO emerges with a $142 million pay package. The CEOs, the elite, they do not care about what you have or what you don't have. As long as they're protected, as long as they have their armed guards, they're totally fine. Now, if they actually have a problem with the pension funds and they're unable to pay out or make significant decreases, and they have to reinform entitlement packages and so on and so forth, there is going to be massive riots in the streets. You're going to have civil unrest. You're going to have an upheaval. I always get people commenting, telling me how this is not going to be the case. You're paranoid. You're instilling fear in people. And that is absolutely something that somebody just needs to sit down and think for 5 minutes. If you take away people's money that they're really required to have in order to live, what do you think is going to happen? Now, they may say, well, that'll never happen because the government will step in. But if the government steps in, they'll have to step in at such a high rate that it will cause a hyperinflation. That hyperinflation will destroy people, and again, you will have a civil unrest scenario. So this is what we have done. This is where we have backed ourselves into, and that's the problem that I continue to explore and really show you, and I hope that you will also see this for yourself. And I just wanted to show you that it's not necessarily just a US problem. It is going down all around the world. China, for example, this is a graph basically showing how fine wine and 1-carat diamonds are at a 40-year low right now, showing you that individuals don't have that same amount of spending money that they once did, and it is really declining at a rapid rate all around the world. It is globalization. We are all connected. The markets are all connected. Anyway, I'm going to go on and just say to you that I did receive a lot of comments regarding the different countries that you want me to do videos about, and I will be doing videos specifically about the UK and Japan and all other different countries, and I hope that you will share those videos and make your own videos and share them and do what you need to do to get this information out to people. Don't forget to become an insider. The Insiders is totally free. It's where I give out all my best intel, and it is at themoneygps.com. You scroll down to the bottom, you fill in your email address, and you get short, concise emails from me.